May I ask you a question? Now, when you studied and you were in Houston, Texas.
Dallas. I was in Dallas.
Dallas, you were. But Houston's really the place, though, isn't it?
Well, Dallas
Houston
is the cosmopolitan city.
Yes, it is.
And Texas is, and Houston is more the,
Conservative.
more a little conservative. Well, they're both conservative, but Houston.
Well,
this
Texas,
is a long time ago.
Texas
now.
is Bush. I mean, Bush country, and it is
Houston,
conservative.
Houston's
yeah.
oil.
Houston's
I'm
oil.
going to take a wild stab. I'd
Yeah.
say Houston's more oil and Dallas is more cosmopolitan.
People like to buy art there, though.
They do.
Love
They
it,
do.
Yeah.
But it's regional mostly.
Who's some of the famous artists in Texas? There is a guy, I can't think of his name.
I couldn't tell you. It's been too many years.
Really?
That was the early 80s. I don't
In the
remember.
80s?
But the artist that I studied, not under, but
Right.
influenced me was an artist named Fritz Scholder. And he was, Fritz Scholder was an American Indian artist,
Right.
is an American Indian artist who lives in Arizona and has had a studio here in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if he still does, and
Right.
in New York as well, and has traveled around the world. And he was one of the first artists that really influenced me. When I opened the crate for
Right.
his show, and I pulled out that 72-inch painting of the monster at the carnival, whatever it was at the time, I was blown away. But he was showing there in Texas, and that man influenced me and changed my life.
Did the monster go big for you?
For me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah. Yeah, I love monster images. The Pink Monster series that I did, there's a painting I did that's called the Peacemaker, which is a blue monster that has horns and he has this little peace sign dangling from his, not peace sign, but the word peace written,
Peace,
that dangles from his horns. And it's ironic, it's a monster that's celebrating peace.
Tell me your trip in New York. When you went to New York from Ohio, what was Craig like? Arriving in this great big city from Columbus, Ohio now, you're going to take over the town. As an artist, you went to the Village or the Bowery or what? Tell me.
I lived in the Bowery. I lived
You
on
did in the
Bowery.
Bowery, I knew.
lived
In
on
the Bowery?
On Bowery Street.
That's
Yep.
the boy. Go ahead.
That was it. I had a loft on Bowery Street, and I knew better than to move to New York and try to take it over to make it big.
I don't mean
what
it
I
like
knew,
that.
what I wanted to do was expand, go from. In Columbus, Ohio, I had a storefront studio, and that's how I operated. I was an independent artist. I really didn't have a gallery representation at the time.
What year was this in?
This would have been 1997.
97.
And then I decided to go to New York City, packed up a Columbus studio, and basically duplicated, mirrored what I was doing in Columbus in New York City. I got a storefront in the Lower East Side.
Right.
In a co-op building. I got the cheapest place in the city.
That's great.
I scoured that city for 2 weeks looking for a place that was cheaper than this one. It was the very first place I saw, and it was 2 blocks away from my loft. It was a storefront. It was amazing. And it was about 500 square feet, had high ceilings. It was right there on the street level.
But cheap
Not
enough.
cheap. I'll tell you what it was, $700 a month for a storefront in New York City is cheap.
That is cheap.
That's very cheap.
Yeah.
And that's what I paid, and it was great.
That is in the 90s?
On Stanton Street, yeah.
Really?
Before the Lower East Side really hit. It hit about a year later.
Yeah.
I had people come by my studio and offer lots of cash to move me out.
Did they really?
To move me out, yeah. Yeah.
How long were you there?
I was there about 2 years.
2 years.
And then I left New York and went to San Francisco.
Tell me about San Francisco, your journey there.
My journey there was more spiritual. It was
okay,
that was the time in my life where I needed to be more alone and just work. And now I go back and forth to San Francisco from Los Angeles.
Right.
But that time that I was exclusively in San Francisco was a time where I was at the beach.
Yes.
I had a few friends, unlike LA where I have lots of friends.
Right.
And it's a whole different scene here for me.
It is.
Yeah,
it's
very
not as
much.
sophisticated as San Francisco or New York.
It's very,
Is it?
it's very
No.
different. Very different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. San Francisco's a great city.
Yeah.
I could never live there, but it happens to be a great city, though. I was there when I came back from Vietnam in '72, and it was interesting. I met some interesting people. This painting I'm looking at right now, this one right here, could you focus on? This one right here is so interesting. Tell me about this painting up here.
The painting is titled Teddy Birds in Park Amour.
Teddy birds? Yeah.
And they are in what I would see as a love field. And this one here, the purple one on the bottom,
Yes.
and the nesting in the field, surrounded by little heart-shaped flowers.
Flowers, yes.
little
Let's get a
purple
close-up
ones.
of those flowers and the painting. Can we come right in, focus on that's it. Look at her looking up.
Yeah, and so she's looking
Yeah,
up
that beautiful flowers.
and
Look.
she's looking
You
up
can
at
pan
her.
it up if you want to pan it up a little. Look at those flowers. Look at the color. Look at the detail. The detail of the painting is
Thousands of tiny little strokes.
Oh.
Yeah, I use very small brushes.
really.
Yeah.
Let's focus up. Look at the detail. It is just darling. I love it. Look at that on camera. Focus it up now. You see, you'll go up to see the bird.
And then you'll
Look,
see
so-
the pink clouds.
slowly.
There's
How
pink-
beautiful.
yeah.
Look at her.
And that's more the masculine bird
Uh-huh.
that's flying around, and it leaves, there's some mystery in this painting. You
It
wonder
is.
if
It's beautiful.
is the bird flying past? Is the bird showing off?
Uh-huh.
Is he showing off for his lover?
Uh-huh.
But it's a very beautiful,
We can
passionate
focus
painting.
it full now. You can do it. Oh, I think it's
And then
beautiful.
surrounded by little pink clouds.
Pink clouds.
Yeah, pink clouds.
They're all pink. Yeah, they're cute. Oh, it's beautiful. What a painting like that costs now?
That's
That's
about 2,500, 3,000.
2,500.
roughly.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I want it. It's beautiful.
We'll talk after the show.
Yeah, that is a beautiful painting, really. How long did it take you to do that?
That's about a month.
Huh?
That's about a month long.
A month long?
I just
What do
finished
you-
that one last week.
Oh, you did? It's just finished. So you take your time doing it. You just add things as you...
I paint when I'm feeling creative. I paint when I'm ready to paint. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll start maybe 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'll take a few breaks during the day. But I don't, sometimes I'll work late into the night, and other times I'll go out with my friends at night. But, you know, I don't have a strict schedule I work with, but I'm very disciplined and I work a lot.
Who's some of your famous artists you like? Some of the famous artists?
Well, I mentioned Fritz Scholder, which
Right.
I appreciate for his
Right.
majesty in my life. And then there's, you know, another one that when I was younger was David Hockney, local.
Hockney, yes.
Yeah.
I know him. He's wonderful. I knew him very well.
Yeah, I love the
Hockney was
boldness of his
great.
work.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him?
Nope. have
You have
been.
never met
No,
David
no,
Hockney?
no,
Oh, I'm
no,
surprised.
no.
He would like your stuff. He was a nice
The colors
guy.
are influenced a lot by his colors.
The colors, yes, the colors. People who do colors are, what's that famous artist in France who died? Colors, crazy. Kirk Douglas did his life story, all those beautiful colors.
Van Gogh?
Van Gogh.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
Van
well,
Gogh.
that's everybody's favorite is Van Gogh. Van Gogh's amazing.
Is
Van
it
Gogh
amazing?
was a man who painted. I'm not going to tell you the history of Van Gogh because I don't know it, but I can tell
That's
you that
okay.
there's a man who walked this planet who painted because he had to
Uh-huh.
and did an enormous amount of painting in a very short period of time. And I have a lot of respect for that.
He painted because he really had to.
Yeah, and that's a true.
He
To
was
me,
going,
that's a
he was
true,
going to
a
mad.
true
He
artist.
was going crazy. He was a mad.
The true artist paints because he has to. He
Is
or
that
she
you,
has to.
Craig?
I've had a million reasons to stop. A million reasons to stop, and I haven't yet. And my feeling is I won't. If I ever, if I needed to, I would. But I do it because I have to.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's always another idea. And when you get an idea, it's like a writer. You get the
Right.
idea, you have to write it down. The other day, I had an epiphany, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got up and wrote it down. And the next day, I was starting the new painting.
Uh-huh. What have you learned about yourself, Craig? Painting and your opening of your shows. What have you learned about yourself while people observing in the gallery? Looking at your stuff.
Oh, one of the things I've learned is to, first of all, to be a little more humble.
Humble?
More humble,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and to not have expectations and just enjoy myself. Because when I go to a show, I've had lots of shows. I don't know how many,
Right.
there's a long list of shows I've had, and each one,
Are different?
I'm not going to bring, each one's different, but I'm not going to bring in what's ever going on that day. I'm not going to bring in whatever stuff's going on in my life to the show, and it's never exactly what I couldn't write the script. There's no way I could write the script. I'm going to go in there, it's going to be very different than what I anticipate. If one painting I think is going to sell, the other one's going to sell. That's
Yeah.
how it is. And I know
You're
just like that.
at George Bellis's gallery in Culver City, and you just opened Saturday. Now you're there through March the 26th?
26th is correct, yeah.
26th? I see. It's a great studio. It's on La Cienega and where?
It's lost in between Venice and Washington.
Venice and Washington. That is towards Culver City, to the airport.
Yeah, there's a new
Really.
string of galleries that are going
There
into
are
that
there.
space. It's a fabulous new arena for galleries opening up. Bloom and Poe is there, and some other galleries are moving
Uh-huh.
in. So you'll hear a lot about the area.
George Bellis's gallery in New York is great, too.
Oh,
isn't
it's
it?
great. I think he's been there 10 years, and
Has he?
I've been with him about 5 years.
You have? Uh-huh.
Yeah,